Welcome to Thursday. Can you believe it's already the 7th of August?
It's going fast.
Time is flying. You know, I think you lost a month of your life, literally.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't had a summer yet.
Yes.
And
I don't know.
tell my voice is a little hoarse.
People probably don't know why we've been a little absent lately, but fill us in on what's been
so
going
a
on
lot
in your
of you
life.
know that we do a big job every summer for a month, but I missed out on half of that big job. I ended up some kind of virus attacked me, which put me into the hospital with pneumonia.
Bad
And
pneumonia,
then,
not just
while I was there, my lungs started to collapse, and it started attacking my heart. So they made the decision to intubate me for a few days and put me in a coma so that my body can get a chance to survive this thing. And so I spent about 12, 13 days in the hospital and got out. And man, I've lost all my energy slowly each day. I'm getting it back a little bit more. But yeah, I've learned so much about, it's not just tubes going down your throat. They're inflating this balloon against your vocal cords, so it stretches everything. So that's the part that's really taken a long time to get back, is my voice. And so today I'll probably be sucking on some cough drops, just keeping myself from coughing. But doing better every day.
And it was so touch and go for a while. I honestly was like, I hate these feelings of having to think about, okay, what would happen, right? Like when the doctor told your wife, you need to come back in basically to say goodbye.
Yes, the doctor told her, hey, go kiss your husband, tell him what you need to tell him, and then we're going to put him under.
So
for a few days, hopefully.
It was serious, but I'm glad to have you back in the land of the living and getting back at it. So we were going to promote one of our biggest events of the year that we have coming up at the beginning of July.
Yeah. But
we postponed it until this week because
to make sure I was going to attend.
Make sure you were going to be there. Like, I don't want to do it alone, but it's so we put it up. But what we're talking about is our Salt Flats experience, and we'll talk a little bit more about this at the end of our conversation today. But we've got this event coming up in October. It's October 9th through 11th, and it is the Salt Flats experience. It is the bucket list event of the year, right? It is the photography event of the year. If you don't attend anything else, this is one of those things you want to join us for. I love our Salt Flats experience. You're number 8 doing it.
Yeah, and 2 years ago we made a conscious decision to change the name. We do a lot of photography workshops, but these 3 days, you can't call it a work.
Experience.
You are going to do crazy stuff. It's going to be fun, nonstop, morning to night. There's 5 major sessions that we do in these 3 days. So, and the price, when you guys hear the price, it's unbelievable. It's very low.
Oh, great.
But oh my goodness, it's going to be great. So,
yeah, it's in Wendover, Utah, out at the Bonneville Salt Flats, and if you're anywhere within shot of a plane to Salt Lake City, definitely join us. It's one of those things you don't want to miss. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of our talk today. But we heard some sad news from a number of our friends in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, 2 of them that have closed their photography
studio, and then somebody else said, yeah, I'm actually in the process of doing it. So these people closed it, and then so we had the question basically, is this the end of the photo studio? Like, is that whole section of a business for photographers done? And I would love to hear what you guys think that are watching this. Like, is this it? Right? Is the photo studio business done? Where you have people coming into your studio, not just saying you run a photo studio.
That you don't have
like a physical studio where you have people coming in. Is that going away? And it's funny because somebody else I saw, one of the Facebook forums that we follow for photography, was posting about their photo studio. They were closing too. It had 231 responses over half of them were people saying, yeah, in the last year, I've shut my studio. Yeah, these people that are friends of ours that have shut their studio in the last few weeks, they're not getting out of the photo business. They're just getting out of the physical photo studio.
Exactly. When you start looking at what it costs to run a studio, you've got to have so many clients in there each week just to pay to keep
Absolutely.
the lights on. And
Yep.
it's insane. And maybe more so in the West than in the East part of the United States. But we have so many beautiful days in the West part of the United States that it doesn't make a lot of sense. And people don't want pictures in the studio. I ran a studio for a few years and ended up closing it because I was telling you yesterday or today that what I say, probably 1 out of 15 people would agree a lake. I want it by the river. I want it out in the field. They all have these ideas. And I think Instagram has a lot to do with that too, of just studio photography. It's not dead, but I think our clients outside of the corporate stuff.
Yeah.
They want it.
Commercial.
Most of our maternity, the engagement, wedding, seniors, it's all done outside.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because it's like, I know there's some weather issues like on the East Coast, but it really is a great divide between Colorado East and Colorado West, that we have photographers that are very much like us in the West here, that we're graced with great weather most of the year, right? It's blazing hot this time of year in parts of California where we are, but we don't get a lot of snow. We don't get a lot of that stuff going on. Where maybe back east in Ohio or Virginia, those kind of areas, you've got a couple months of really good weather.
Yeah, so you and I, we have 6 sponsors, different companies we work with. And it's funny because every one of those companies, when we talk to them, they all still have this idea that studio. We keep telling them it's outdoor. Yep. And they one by one tell us we don't do a lot of outdoor stuff as far as their other ambassadors and things.
Because they're mostly based back east, right? Just the same issue that we were talking about. In fact, they're the physical camera stores. There are so few left out here in the West that most of the manufacturer reps don't even visit those stores because it doesn't make economic sense for them to come out. So it's the same thing with the photo studio. It doesn't make economic sense in my brain. I know there's some very successful studios out there, and I'm not talking to that crowd. Client a week coming into a studio, 2 clients a week that want to do something inside. Economically, and with the price of real estate and rent and insurance is a huge issue out here in the West. And it's tough. It's a tough road.
Yeah, I just got my electric bill right before I came on for my home. I don't California.
In fact, my wife said last night, "Did you see what the power bill was?" And then she says, "Did you see what it's going to be?" I said, "How can that be? We have not used our power very long." So yeah, it was crazy electrical bill this month and next month. But yeah, so
we'd love to hear from you if you've got a studio that you are still running, or if you've had kind of come to the same conclusion we have, that it just doesn't make economic sense. And again, we're not talking to those of you. There are those that have that model that just works. Or it works because there isn't those outdoor spaces as relevant or as accessible. I'm surrounded by beautiful spots that I can go to in the mountains.
Totally. Jen Raposa just said that she had to close her studio space in 21. And Jen, you had a great studio. We actually visited before. Yeah. It's sad in a way because there's a lot of fun things you do in the studio. You can create some great magic.
And this time, you just.
But it comes down to, is this Is this your, so if it's your fun toy and you have the economy in your life that you can afford to have that studio, we're not talking about in-home studios, right? It's not like converting your garage necessarily into a studio. This is like truly renting a space.
Because I don't think portrait photography is done. We've had lots of conversations about, is AI just going to ruin?
Yeah.
I think portrait, and you read something to me yesterday. I asked you to write it down, like that talked about what is portrait photography. Because when you read it, it was like, that's what
this is something that I came up with, and I actually wrote it down. I think it sounds much more eloquent written down than when we were talking about it. But like, photography mean to you? Because we were talking about this whole studio thing, and what is portrait photography? Is it indoors? Is it outdoors? Is it a headshot? Is it lifestyle? What is that? Right?
Yeah. But it's like, what
really is?
Really
so
is
here's what I came up and I wrote it down, and let me. I haven't even, I don't think, read the final version to you, but let's see what you think of this. So portrait photography to me is about capturing, it's about telling a story through expression, light, and connection. A great portrait reveals something true about the subject, who they are, how they feel, or how they want to be seen. It's also a form of collaboration. It brings the photographer brings the skill, vision, and direction, but the subject brings presence and even vulnerability. When we both show up, magic happens, even in the simplest frame. In short, portrait photography is human connection frozen in light. And when I just started thinking about that, it does sum it up exactly what it is, right? It's about storytelling through expression, light, and connection, having connection. Rent a studio to do stuff, but it's to me, it's harder to get that natural expression without being posy, right? So if you're into the lifestyle, portrait photography stuff, engagements, that kind of connection where that's really important.
I find it harder to do. Not that it can't be done. Some of the greatest portraits ever made were made in a studio. But I think people are more comfortable in an environment like that. So yeah, it's a great definition.
Yep. Yeah, and Jennifer, just again, another comment from her. She said, yes, need to bring an experience. It's not just the technical workshop, right? Same thing when you're out on a photo shoot. It's the experience that you're giving your client. It's more than clicking the shutter. I know how to take a great picture technically, but I've also learned how to give them an experience outdoors and out, just an experience in their photo sessions. So,
because we've talked about this, is why you and I in the past have done a lot more senior portraits, and we don't do as many anymore because we can't provide the experience that somebody else that this is going to sound almost sexist, but like a female photographer can provide to a female, which is the majority of the senior portraits these days. They can provide that experience that is that I feel stupid going, oh, that's fabulous. I love that outfit.
Especially with your new voice
that
now.
Anymore. That
just doesn't sound. It's not Brady time to change. But now let's see, we have aged out when we're talking about the Brady Bunch. So
but she's dead on it. It's the experience that you can provide for the client, and there are those that provide it in a studio perfectly well. So we're not saying anything against it. We're just saying, what, economically, it's getting much more difficult.
I would love to have a studio space to use it.
Yeah. What today? I've got a new backdrop coming, so I'm setting that up in my front room, and I'm going to play with that new backdrop. You and I have some school portraits to do next week, and we're going to try something new this year. And so, do I need a studio? No.
Well,
do I want one? Yeah,
having that big studio. I see some of the guys online, that are shooting in a studio, and they've got 25-foot tall ceilings. I can set something up in my house, but I just don't have room to get the lights up as high. I got a couch
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So it's a big moving of furniture all the time when you know that like you have to rearrange, and then your wife comes home from work and she goes, "What did you do in here?" Oh, yeah, I guess I'll put it.
Don't turn the overhead fans on. You're gonna rip down my 7-foot umbrella. You know,
I've done that before. I have, yes.
So, anyways, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you guys come out to one of our workshops next. We've got a meetup that we're doing, kind of our end of the summer big splash. You know, looking forward to meeting some new photographers, some new models, and that's awesome. You can look that up on our website, panoptic.photography. You don't have to put the .com, just panoptic.photography. But man, we are so excited though about this salt flat.
Yeah, that we do, you know, 2 to 3 major big events each year. One of them is our Las Vegas experience, which if you haven't been to that's another super cool event. The other really big one, and this is my favorite one, is the Salt Flats experience. And that's coming up October 9th through the 11th. It's 5 events over 3 days. Right? It's nonstop.
Yeah.
Portrait fun.
And it's not all on the Salt Flats. It's all part of the Salt Flats, but man, we go to a place that there's this lake in the middle of the desert that's like Caribbean blue, that's 85 feet deep and 80 degrees year round because it's spring fed and crystal clear, and we shoot out there in the day. It's otherworldly.
You have to tell them what time we shoot out there.
So that one, yes. Here's what's cool. Because it's early in the morning when we go out there, we usually leave the hotel at like 5 in the morning. We drive out through the desert in the dark, cold in the morning. This steam rises off the lake, and out in the lake on one side of it, there's a dock that sticks out.
Pretty rickety dock.
But imagine this. We throw a ballerina out there, and that sun rises behind them. You don't even need clouds. That sun rises and it glows through that steam that's rising. We call it the glow show, right? For about, all you hear is click, 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 click. Hey, can you move over? Click, click, click. Can I get there? Click, 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 click. Like, it's fun. It's not like the only time I've seen people look at photos from when we've done that, and they're like, that's what I don't like about workshops. People piled on top. No, this is just one time in 3 days where you line up where the sun is rising behind, and we move people around. It looks like controlled chaos.
That's one little snippet of it, right?
10 minutes of 3 days.
So like when you're looking at these 5 different events, they are very different in what we're doing. We're on the flats, you know, 3 of the times. 2 of the other times we're doing stuff right around that Wendover area. But I mean, it's everything from shooting inside an airplane to incredible, the best light you've ever seen on the Salt.
If you've ever driven past Wendover, you're like, there's nothing in Wendover. Well, guess what? Have you watched Independence Day, the movie with Will Smith years ago? Have you watched Con Air? Have you seen Fallout on Amazon? Then you've seen Wendover. They film a lot of movies out there. It's an old Army air base. That's where they used to train the atomic bombers. The Enola Gay hangar is still out there. We've shot in there a number of times. We hang
out there in Wendover. It's super cool. One of my favorite things. Hey, hello, Jose. Hey, Jose, you need to come out.
Dude, this is the one.
The Salt Flats experience. But one of the things that I love about that makes it an experience is, like you had mentioned, you're building lifelong friends, right, at these things. And it's true. Like the people that have come, we have people this year coming as attendees from Mexico, from all these different states. It's not just people that are our local crew.
Like, just coming from far away.
South Dakota, from Wyoming, like all over the place. So it's just awesome. But one of the things that I love is the camaraderie that's built around dinner time and the meals. So we all eat together, right? There's a little Mexican restaurant. It's actually in like a double wide trailer that looks pretty janky, but best Mexican food. But the fun that we have all eating together, and then at night there's a pizza place that has a bunch of different types of food that we hang out at these long tables. You know, everybody grabs pizza, beer, whatever they want,
and you just laugh and tell
and
stories.
you laugh and you talk about what you did during the day. It is just like one of the things that you'll hear is people go, "That was the most amazing couple of days I've ever spent in photography."
We gave away 2 backpacks from Think Tank. I'm sure we're going to do that similar thing again. This year, we're giving a lens away.
Yep. So
new lens.
We've got incredible sponsors on board right now. So Viltrox, they're a highlight sponsor. If you haven't heard of Viltrox, it's somebody you need to check out. Yep. They're shipping out a bunch of lenses that they'll be able to let people use. If you're a Nikon shooter, a Sony shooter, or a Fuji shooter, you're in luck. If you're a Canon shooter, sorry.
It's talk to Canon. They won't let anybody make lenses. So
other than Tamron, they're the only ones right now, but they're not releasing their mount to anybody else. So anyways, they're a sponsor. They're going to be giving away a lens to somebody. We've got Westcott. Westcott is always a huge
sponsor.
And
we're bringing out a ton of Westcott gear that you can borrow. You can, we'll help you out. There's some of you, people that fly in too far that can't bring gear. We got you.
And then we've got Evoto. So Evoto's on board.
Yeah. If you're not using Evoto,
what are you doing with your life?
Yeah. Come on. If you're shooting portraits.
So we'll be doing We'll be over 2 of the days during our kind of our break time where Mark and I will be doing some Evoto work, showing you how we do editing, help you guys out with your editing.
They're going to give you some free credits to use, and so you can play with it yourself.
So
there.
pretty doggone awesome. And you won't want to miss it. I'm telling you, there's plenty of giveaways. Now, here's the best part. Because of some generous support from our sponsors, the pricing this year for our early bird pricing, which goes till the 15th, so 1 week and 1 day from now, is $4.99. Not for each day. It's $4.99. Yeah, that's your entrance ticket
session
for 5 events over 3 days. That's it. You have to be able to get there. But if you can get there and you can stay, we all stay at the best. We stay at the best hotel in Wendover.
Yes,
the Best Western, and it's not just the Best Western; it's the Best Western.
That's right.
Plus,
we get free breakfast, and it's decent breakfast.
Free breakfast.
We'll hang out in the breakfast room early in the morning.
Unless you're our friend Henry, who for some reason always seems to get this. I don't know if he winks at the desk guy or girl, but last time he pulled this off on us. He says, and this was what makes it also a fun experience. So Henry's like, guys, what do you think of your room? It's amazing. I'm like, Henry, it's the Best Western room. He's like, it's amazing.
In my room.
It's huge, and I got a hot tub, and I got a bar, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Henry? We're in Wendover, Utah. Okay, it's not so amazing. It's a very good hotel, but it's not it's not like staying at Waldorf Astoria Hotel. So he goes, come up and check it out. So we come up. It's this huge room that they full on hot tub up there. Like,
there was a suite up in.
It was crazy.
Best
like, thanks,
window.
Thanks. I appreciate you coming. I really do. So we'll see if that happens again this year. But Jose, to answer your question, the best airport to fly into is Salt Lake City. It is a just a little less than 2-hour drive from Salt Lake. So you want to rent a car, drive in.
And we've had some attendees that have carpooled together.
There's a lot of people flying in, so
so there's a good chance you could find somebody that'll want to split a car, or you can ride with them, whatever it is. So
one of the things that we do to make this even a better experience, and this is something I don't hear anybody else in our workshop world do this, but we have 1 to 2, and it's usually 2 pre-call events or pre-event
Yes,
calls.
we do a Zoom
All the
call with all of
models.
our attendees
We
and
go
our
over the
models.
schedule in depth, but we answer questions. But it's really a great chance to get to know some of your new best friends, right? You're going to be spending a lot of time with them.
Yeah.
And there we figure out, you know, carpool situations, who's traveling in, how you want to work the thing. And it's just a beautiful moment, those pre-event calls. But those are always fun, and I love it because when everybody arrives, they're like, "Hey, I saw you on the call. Good to meet you."
Yes, you know everybody already.
Yep.
And you have that gives you that ability to organize rides, and who wants to share a ride when we get out there, because we try to get into as few as cars as possible.
For sure.
So like days we go to that Blue Lake, we don't need 18 cars following us. We need 5 cars, you know.
So we talked about this a lot longer than we were planning on talking about it.
Yeah.
But I think you can tell from watching. We're pretty.
Yeah. What was this? You said our 9th year, 8th year doing it, and we're still like little kids excited because each year it's different. Each year we find a new spot.
Do you remember last year? Last year was that we had a. Trying to think, we had like 4 out of the group that were our local crew, people that do workshops with us quite often. The rest of them were from out of state. Do you remember what the comments? We had 3 different people I'm thinking of and maybe they just said them to me, but I thought you were standing next to me, they took the first shot that evening out at the Salt Flats.
Yeah, they were like,
and they said, "Oh my goodness,
I'm done."
They were done. Like, it is so good.
Yeah.
It is the Salt Flats in Utah. There's only 2 major salt flats in the world, right? There's one there and one, I think it's in Bolivia. And they're both like 40 miles long. And this area is huge. And it's just pure white salt.
Yeah. It's not the area you're driving along Highway 80 on. It's the Bonneville Salt Flats.
We're driving 7 miles out to get to the location where we shoot most of the time. And so, like, you take that picture and you look at the back of your camera and you're like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. You're seeing colors that you don't see with your eyes. You're seeing this incredible salt with details and cracks and patterns. And the light is being reflected up. So if you're shooting with lights, then it gets really, really incredible because you're enhancing what you're seeing naturally. But like, I just get blown away with even just trying to explain what you're seeing. You'll when you get out there, guys, you'll see what it is.
Yeah. So like. Yeah, if you can technically follow the argument, it is when the sun is up, because it's so white, everything's bright and everything's kind of at the same brightness, so that you get everything exposed right at the sunset and it's dark on your person. No, the sky is bright. The ground is bright. It's bouncing light from the top and the bottom, filling in your subject. They're bright. So everything is exposed perfectly.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
And then even when the sun goes down, the sky starts getting darker, but it's reflecting off this reflective white bottom. So everything's still like the same exposure. You don't go like click, oh, I got a blown out white sky. It's the weirdest thing.
Because looking through, if you're switched over to mirrorless and you have a mirrorless camera, looking through your viewfinder, seeing it in real time, the adjustments, it's much easier to expose because you're like, okay, yeah, I gotta run that shutter speed way up, or close down my lens, and you're like, oh, magic is already happening.
Yeah. And
then if you add light to that, then everything just goes crazy. But anyways, that's what's coming up. We would love to have you out there. It is truly a bucket list experience. Yeah. And it's not just that it's bucket list photography. It's not just portrait photography. It's everything we've been talking about. The reason why we do step outdoors is just...
Okay, let's see if you can finish this sentence, because maybe we can be done in 30 minutes, huh? Is if you can't make it out to the Salt Flats, then
what are you doing with your life? That's it. So, guys, great to be back online with you. If you're just logging on now or just had come in late, make sure you watch the rewind of this talk to hear about what we're talking about. But Love to have you out there. Any of the events that we're doing in the future, you can follow us, panoptic.photography. Make sure you subscribe and like our channel. And also, we have Facebook groups, Panoptic Photography Workshops. You can join. You can find us all over Instagram, anywhere. We're there. So, all right, lazy.
No.
See ya.
Don't be lazy.